Welcome to the I-80 Club. I-80 live on this Wednesday at our brand new time. Jack Mitchell, 7 o'clock. The folks are responding well to this one. Mike Schaefer says, is the move to 7 p.m. I-80 Club's version of daylight savings time. And then Jordan adds, we should keep it this way. The people are stepping in. They're already loving the new digs. The new digs is 7 o'clock.
That's good. I had seen one one wasn't a straight up complaint, but could have been interpreted that way. So I didn't know. I thought maybe those who had younger kids particularly would not be a fan of this, but I'm glad. I mean, yeah, I like it. I've got this weird 2-hour period otherwise.
Correct.
Like, I guess you do too, but you like yours, I think, better than I like mine.
Yeah, I feel bad. Tonight I got home. Banks and I did not go for a walk. He got one this morning, though, so he got one in. But, yeah, I mean, now that it's the summer, I think you and I were in agreement. We want to hang out after the pod a little bit more, and so, yeah.
I have the time between 6:15 and when I get home, and when we start at 8 is very worthless for me. So I would rather just get it over with. I mean, that time, not the show,
Keena says, I selfishly like the 8 time for the kid reason, but the world doesn't seem to revolve around me. Sorry, Keena, it does not. Customer from you. Wait, it's the summer? It basically is. If movies can come out and start the season, then yes, it's summer.
If you were to define summer by something other than a date, right? Or I guess school being out is the big thing. So that's
for sure. Post Memorial Day. Jack, one of my hot takes, and by the way, this is a Chat Sack episode. We have many questions to get to. And a brand new Volleyball State pod drops in 2 hours. So stay tuned for that one. Sarah Pavin on this.
Pavin on it. Jeez.
Yeah, nice get. Nice get for the Volleyball State.
I'm really starting to worry they're making us look like you and me really bad because they're getting is there anyone? There's not many people left in their industry that they haven't gotten in 2.5 months. To get
since they joined us.
Let's say, I mean, since they joined us, they've had the equivalent of Tom Osborne, Matt Rhule, Tommy Frazier, I don't even know the chairman of the CFP, Kirk Herbstreit, all on theirs.
Yeah. Well, and they had John Baylor at the end of last season, and don't worry, they'll probably have John Baylor on again. So
they've had all that.
Jack, I've gotten some guests booked for our summer of pods, for the summer of the I-80 Club that I think people are really going to dig. So that'll be fun.
I've had some good ideas for guests.
Jack has some good ideas for guests.
I have one of the best. I've created one of the best lineups in my head.
How's that going?
Sent a text, didn't get responded to, so pretty good.
Nice. Things are going well. Gino Jalapeno says, I'm loving Volleyball State. Yeah, that makes many of us. So yeah,
it's probably the best. It's probably the best volleyball media in America.
Not to brag.
It probably is.
D'Lo, hot take, no guests, greater than guests. Well, then that's perfect for you tonight, D'Lo, because it's just us.
That's my general opinion too about most media.
Yeah. I never did say what I was going to say, though, and that is this, Jack. I have long had the take that spring, summer, winter, fall, they should all move up. I know it's the rotating of the earth or some bullshit. The summer begins on June 1st. The fall begins on September 1st. Winter begins on December 1st, and spring begins on March 1st. Those are my takes, and I am sticking with them because September turns around, it's fall time. December arrives, it's winter time. It's the Christmas season. You can't have the Christmas season in the fall. And yet, they try to tell us that it's fall until 4 days before Christmas.
That's a month different than the meteorological dates that they use?
Basically. Now, Royals Girl says it's not the 21st. Rats. Isn't it close to that, though? It's close to the 21st.
They also have meteorological seasons, which seem like they should be more scientific, but they're less scientific. According to meteorological seasons, spring is March 1 to May 31st, summer's June 1 to August 31st, fall September 1 to November 30. It's the exact what you just said. Those are called meteorological seasons.
Yeah, I do it on the first.
That's the thing. Google it. You got it. You agree with the meteorologists. So
shout out to me. So that's how I believe.
they have a little more of a complex theory. I believe
Okay.
I believe there are like I believe
Okay,
there
aren't you like there are 800 seasons truthers?
no, there's like 7. I can't remember how many. So here's how the actual seasons fall, in my opinion. There is Winter Hell, which goes from
Oh, I hate that one.
January 2nd to March 1st.
Woked.
January 2nd to March 1st. Some of these can move a little bit. That's Winter Hell.
Yeah.
Fake Spring
Yep.
is then March 1st to Tax Day.
Okay.
Tax Day ish becomes Real Spring, right?
Okay.
And then Real Spring, which is April 1st until Memorial Day.
So we're in Real Spring right now.
We're in Real Spring right now, and it goes.
Wow,
We got a few more
it's
weeks.
So nice outside.
The first half of May in Lincoln, Nebraska. I've said it on this pod. I've said it on my radio show a million times. This is Lincoln, Nebraska's weather superpower. First half
so good.
of May.
We're
in the middle of it. It is these weeks. It is like 14 to 20 days. This is it. Okay.
Yeah.
It's the best there is, day, night, because it's shit the rest of the year for the most part. Okay. Memorial Day to July 4th is Fun Summer. Okay.
Okay.
Fun Summer happens Memorial Day to July 4th. And then July 4th to Labor Day is Dog Days.
Yes. 100%. Where you're just
cool.
wanting football season. That's all you want.
Right. That's Dog Days.
Yeah.
And then Labor Day to Thanksgiving, or let's see, Labor Day to, I take that back. Labor Day to either Halloween or to when you turn the clocks back is pumpkin spice season.
Okay.
And then either the day after Halloween or the day you turn the clocks back, somewhere around there, the day all the leaves are off the tree. That's when holiday winter begins.
Okay. What about fall? So it's fall. Is pumpkin spice?
Pumpkin spice is September is Labor Day. Yes, Labor Day until Thanksgiving, basically. Or excuse me, Labor Day to Halloween is fall. Hey, you know what? There does need to be another one. There does need to be another one there between November 1st and Thanksgiving, which is, you know what I call that one? Fall February.
It sucks because the clocks change
February.
And you're sad.
Yep, it's fall February.
My days change. I hate it. Yeah.
It's a short season because once you get to Thanksgiving, you're in the holidays.
Because then it's fun again. Yes, but the beginning of November to Thanksgiving blows.
It's an underrated, terrible. Everyone's like, I love November. Really? Because it might have the worst or second worst 3-week period in the entire calendar.
Yeah, plus the grass goes from green to brown like overnight. And so you're like, what? I miss the colors of life. And those disappear. D'Lo, by the way, has an amendment for one of yours. July 4th to August 29th. Massively inflated success of upcoming football season.
That's fine. Football hype video season.
Dog days. By the way,
we could have like prescribed activities in each of my seasons, and that watching football hype videos, right? Getting pumped, getting very pumped, right? Giving all of that. That would be in the dog days.
Yeah, he adds, can only assume the first chat sack question submitted. Please talk about weather for 30 minutes. Yeah, we got 20 minutes to go in the weather.
That's not weather. These are, by the way, I love how, this won't surprise you. I love how I define those. That is the best way you can define a year. I do need to, I need to decide though, does pumpkin spice season go all the way to Thanksgiving or should I think you're right. I think post Halloween to Thanksgiving is a short season all to its own. And again, it's only 3 to 4 weeks, but I like to call it fall February. But there's probably a better name for it. It's just depressing.
Yeah,
it's a little the valley.
At least you have football. At least you have football, and in your case, basketball returns, and you get to do the Nebraska ball brunch show.
That's why everybody says they love November because the sports are so good in November.
They do.
You know?
They do. All right. Should we get into some of these chats? Jack, we have so many. I feel horrible because we're not going to be able to get to all of them. And there are some that could be entire podcasts on their own. But we put out the bat signal earlier today.
I love it.
We got some. We'll
save the questions. We'll save some. We'll save
some. All right. We'll start with this one. Royals girl at 9:09 this morning. Your czars for a day. What is the one thing you'd bring back in the Husker athletic department? And what is one new thing you'd implement? Bring back something and implement a new thing.
Number 1, success.
Interesting. That's not a bad idea, though.
Success, winning, joy, I guess would be in my list of the things to bring back.
For sure.
And then a new thing to add. Was that the second part of it?
Yep, new thing. You're bringing a new thing.
So, well, outside of my, snarky answer, one thing.
Well, how about this from Jordan? Coca-Cola.
Oh, God,
bring back Coca-Cola. Oh,
That's
right. You're the Mountain Dew guy.
Diet Mountain Dew.
Diet Mountain Dew.
Yeah, that's people. A lot of people are going to say that.
Yeah. Practice till you puke, says Adam.
No, I wouldn't do. No. Yeah. What are the other aside from winning? What just about the Husker experience do you miss? That is
mesh uniform, says D'Lo. Yeah, let's go with the crop top uniforms like in the 90s. Grant Wistrom would sack a guy and you could see his belly button.
Yeah.
Those were the days, Jack.
Adam hoods under jerseys. Lane Hovey. His mom gave him a gray hooded sweatshirt to wear under his jersey. I bet his mom gave it to him.
Those were the days. Mine are all like that. Mine are all the way things look. And I think mine can best be described, Jack, as everything looks like the 90s again. The hats are the 90s, which I know you hate because you were a kid, but it's cool, Jack. You just got to get used to it.
Some I like, some I don't. I have opinions.
Bring back the hats from the 90s, the look, the coats, the starter jackets, the pullover, like all that stuff. But I'll add one more thing because Jordan said single bar face mask, which is funny. Jack, it's time to bring back the gray face masks on Nebraska football's helmets.
I think I would do that.
Back the gray face mask. It's such a good look, man. It's so classic. I love gray face masks.
Got a couple of things basketball related. I would make frozen chocolate malts more available. I think that's I think there's one place you can get them in all of PBA. I think that should be more widely available. I believe it's the signature food of Nebraska ball.
I remember I went to a game with you after I got divorced, and you were like, "This will cheer you up," and you got me one of those malts.
Did it?
I don't know. I was pretty depressed, but it was tasty.
Fair enough.
That's how Jack and I became friends.
I was trying to think of a joke to say about that. I was trying to think of a joke, but I don't think I will. How about here's another. Only the real ones will remember this, but for whatever reason, Nebraska basketball used to put dudes who were like dressed in formal wear were the guys during like timeouts and in halftime and stuff that would mop the floor, right? And they would have two mops and they would cross them and they'd be wearing like a tuxedo. I think they might have actually been like an advertisement for like a tux rental place, and everyone would like cheer them, like, and they're always like two old guys, like I don't know, like they were like these big. It was really weird to see these two people in formal wear mopping, and everyone got really excited about those. And I thought, I don't know, that's an experience you really can't duplicate.
No, you definitely cannot.
I don't even know how to I don't know how to even explain it if you weren't there, but you're like, hey, where are those dudes who don't look like they should be wearing tuxes, who are wearing tuxes and cleaning our floor with mops, right? Get it?
That's strange.
It's a custodian and a tux, right?
I don't understand that at all. Any new ideas, Jack? Any new things that you would like to bring to Nebraska athletics?
New things.
NCAA tournament win, obviously, for the men's program. We know.
I mean, I've said this one a million times. I think it would be cool. It's never going to happen. I think in between the third and fourth quarter of Nebraska football games, they should play. There's a section of the song of Lady Gaga's song that references Nebraska.
The Scarlet. Sorry.
No, put your drinks up for Nebraska. I think that should be a sing-along. I think it would be cooler than the jump around. It would be cooler than anything else. I think it would be so cool. There are only three men. It says Jesus Christ on it, so maybe it wouldn't do it for that reason. But it would be so. I'm telling you, it would work. I'm telling you, it would be so cool. I'm telling you, everyone would get into it. There's a thing that says, put your drinks up. They're going to sell drinks there soon. It's about Nebraska. It's Lady Gaga. It'd just be cool. It would be so cool.
Mine, Jack, and I don't know exactly what item I want the fans to have, but one of the cool things about the SEC is that at a lot of games they have like the pom-poms. I know some people don't like that. I think it is badass that stadiums have something to wave around when they score touchdowns or get big plays, and I think it looks good on TV. I wish Nebraska had a thing that they would wave around in the stadium. I like the pom-pom look for the SEC. Towels, I think, are cool too. Where you're waving a towel around. I think that would be awesome. I think that would be very cool.
I like that. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with that. Yeah.
Husker from you, JFC, no pom-poms. It's a cool look. They're waving the pom-poms.
I have a question. Does the band, like the little the marching band go out to like bars on Friday night before games anymore?
They used to always.
They still go to Misty's.
Great question.
They used to go to Grandmother's. I was there. It was Grandmother's, and I didn't remember they were coming. It was such a GD delight. It was amazing.
I was at Misty's one of the nights that they did it, and it's so cool.
I meant to Misty's on the nights before again, but the band coming into restaurants and like knowing they're coming to a certain restaurant and like the anticipation sort of building to it on the night before of a game is freaking great.
Yeah.
Does that still happen? I don't know. Grandmother's. Yes. I guess I would just say do it at Grandmother's out in East Lincoln, right?
Looks like RIP Grandmother's. It looks like Grandmother's is dead, like a lot of people's grandmothers.
Yeah, no.
Very sad. Dilo says, go to a Wisconsin game and compare game days. It's so much better and not because of jump around. Though I will say this, the way they let their students in is the dumbest crap. Single file line, it takes them a whole quarter to get the entire
game start there. It looks like an empty-ass board stadium to me.
Yeah, because of their student section. All right, that's a good one. That was a good question. Question number 2. Jack, dare I say we could put a pin in this one? I'll read it to you and you tell me, because this could be a whole episode. How bad would Nebraska's record have to be for the Huskers to move on from Matt Rhule at the end of the season? Or does the Huskers' floor this season include a result like that? What do you want to do with this?
That's a great question.
Should we say
no. Well, I mean, you mean because you could do a whole show on it?
Yeah.
Let's just do an initial off-the-cuff answer.
Okay.
And then maybe...
Hey, we're only doing this, people, because JB asked us the question. Jack and I are not putting Matt Rhule on the hot seat. We are here to answer your
by the way,
questions.
I think I hate firing coaches. I think it's an interesting question. Dude, Severe and I got in not a fight or a debate, but he disagreed with me when I said there was a result where that could happen this year. He told me he doesn't think it can. He doesn't think that scenario exists in the world.
For the record, that's where I am.
John. That's what Severe said to me.
I think I am in the he cannot get fired after 2025, no matter what. What's your record?
He's not staying if he goes 4-8.
No way. Yes, he is. They're not firing him if he goes 4-8.
Wow.
Why would they fire him? Who's going to fire him?
Unless there was something completely out of the ordinary that made
Dannon is going to fire him?
A bunch of his players got the plague or something for half the season.
Dannon is going to fire him?
Or someone will fire Dannon.
Why would they fire Dannon? Dannon didn't hire Rhule.
Listen, I don't think you understand the depths of hell we would be. You've been here before. How do you not know this? This state will not be tolerable for life if they are 4-8. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I know. They've never done that before. The biggest reason that I would make this argument is because the athletic director, in my opinion, is not tied to the failure of him. And so, which I guess maybe you make an argument that's why he would fire him. But normally the AD gets canned first. They're not going to fire Dannon because Dannon had nothing to do with the Rhule's hiring. It would be all hands on deck, 2026, shit or get off the pot. But there's no way. There's no way that he would be fired if they were 4-8. Absolutely no way.
I 1,000%
It's too expensive. They couldn't do that. Plus rev share, Jack, it's too much money. Maybe if he went 2-10, but I really think that there's nothing that could happen. I really believe that, man.
That's wild because there were people who wanted him fired last year.
I know, but people wanting him fired versus actually firing the guy is
but at some point that starts to matter, right? Like at some point that starts to matter, and then there are people who have influence besides the athletic director who matter.
Yeah.
Let yourself imagine that life actually playing out, and then come back to me with that one. So, I don't know.
Again, I guess the part that is just hard for me to kind of make, I don't know, shake hands with is
Josh,
His
listen,
athletic-
guys, and here's the thing that's hard for Josh. He hates firing coaches, and he doesn't even like to think about what that would be like. And so it's hard for him, and he's got a big heart. So, I mean, like, give him that, okay? It's not the worst reason to be weirdly wrong on a question because of a big heart.
Nice. Very interesting. Royals Girl says, I think you're right, Josh. It's the reality of where we are right now and how far we've fallen. That's a huge part in it. And Dannon. The Dannon piece to this cannot be ignored. And just how he in a way is absolved of the Rhule hire, but then he would be judged by what would happen going into 2026.
I have a super mini chat sack question.
Perfect. The tiny sack.
Does Troy Dannon look like an older Jeff Sheldon? Could he be Jeff Sheldon, like put in one of those like slight time lapse machines?
Wow.
Look at a picture of him.
That's pretty good. By the way, that's a great reminder. Volleyball State, Sarah Pavin, dropping tonight at 9:00 in your podcast feed or on the I-80 Club YouTube page. D'Lo says, what if we get shut up by Houston Christian? Bruce says, I bet if we went 4-8, he would just fire his defensive staff and reduce his contract. Dana would say, there's a lot of empirical data that says this won't work, but we're going to give it a shot. Yeah, he would definitely say that, just like Trev Alberts did in Star Wars: A New Hope. There's not a whole lot of empirical data.
Here's what I want to know. What would I say if you went 4-8?
Oh, you'd be like, the Big Ten West sucks still. I don't know.
Well, I mean, 100%. That's not what I'm wondering. I can promise you I would say that.
We would have a horrible time. As bad as Frost's last few games and that whole season was, and then the first Matt Rhule season, if this season went 4-8, that would be
but what would I be saying about firing?
I don't know. You'd probably have a callback to this conversation in May, and you'd openly wonder if they're going to do it. See, I think you would talk yourself out of it, though, by the end. If you said, no, you need stability. It's me, Jack Mitchell, everybody. I believe in stability. Keep coaches for 100 years. I hate starting anew.
I do tend to act that way, but like in theory presented to me now, that sounds stupid.
Yeah. And what the hell is wrong with you?
I mean, seriously,
3-9 in 2021.
They're obviously going to beat. I assume they're going to beat Akron and Houston Christian, and then Northwestern at home, and then they're getting one more win, and that's it. Like,
oh my gosh, that does sound like hell. Absolute hell. Yeah, we'd have a really
by the way,
bad
I
time.
Probably shouldn't have just given them Northwestern at home. Sorry, I'm just Nebraska fans. Like, Nebraska's lost to them a lot, Jack.
D'Lo says, but you want to fire Fickle. See, but D'Lo, you're missing the point there. The relationship that the Wisconsin fan base has with Luke Fickle today is nowhere near the relationship that the majority of the Nebraska fan base has with Matt Rhule. Because Fickle showed up and he changed the offense and he went away from what Wisconsin stands for. Matt Rhule didn't do that. They just sucked. Luke Fickle is a crime against humanity for Wisconsin and how they operate.
How could they ever be in a bad mood with that great game day atmosphere that Wisconsin fans get to see every day? I can't imagine that. It's amazing. Hey, D'Lo, I'm gonna be sarcastic about that one for a long time. I don't care if you think you're right. That's ridiculous.
Nice. He adds that Royola is gone if they go 4-8. Yeah, he definitely is. Yeah, and my wife, Riz points out, Luke
gone where to Doan?
Several failed coaches either. Yeah, like he's not gonna get fired. No way. So I like this. We finally disagree on something like big picture. By
the way, for the record, now you want to hear the positive side of me? There's part of the reason I think that is there's no way in balls that is happening.
Floor is higher than 4 wins. What is the floor? 6? 5? Probably 5. I think you gotta say 5. They started 5-3 and 5-1 the last 2 years, so I would say at the very least it's 5.
You might have to. I will not go lower than 5.
5.
For
yeah,
sure.
5.
I'm between 5 and 6, probably leaning 6.
Yeah, you're like a 5.5 where you round up.
Yeah, I'm probably at 6.
D'Lo, we do this every year. I love it. Hey, if we would have said what the floor was a couple of years ago, we probably would have said the floor was like 4 or 5, and we were right. And last year, I think
the floor was 6. I guarantee I said last year the floor was 4 or 5 last year.
Yeah. So, I actually think that we have been very fair on this question.
Yeah, we do this every year, and we're GD right once again. Probably will be again. Well, I guess I wasn't right. The floor should have been higher.
I did say in 2021, I said in the preseason, Jack, if they lost to Illinois, there was a world where they went 3-9, and they ended up going 3-9. Jordan says, what's the ceiling?
We do this every year.
This is the question we do every year.
We
Is
do
it 10
all of
or is
these
it 9?
questions every year. And
Yeah,
we say
that's
some
true.
right answers and some wrong answers.
Husker Frame, you says 8.
What's the point? Wisconsin's got a great game day atmosphere.
Triggered.
I mean, I don't get the critique. It's odd.
What's the ceiling, Jack? Is it 8?
Okay,
Is it 10? Is it
ceiling
9?
1, 2, 3. Well, now that Michigan 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh,
Jack's
man.
going to say 11.
5.
Say it. Say 11.
Six,
Say 11. Say
7,
11. Say 11. Say 11.
8, 9. It's
Say it. Say 1, 1, 11. That's
it's
Jack's
11.
answer.
It's 11. It's
mine's
11.
9. I think mine's 9. Mainly, it's a combination of like dumb shit slash.
I was gonna say it's probably. I
Tough
probably think it. I probably need to put in the Jack multiplier and the Jack positivity multiplier in it and make it 10, which
There
I
you
need
go.
to do with everything. So
Big Red Roscoe, is this a bit? No, this is not a bit. This is Jack Mitchell, baby. This is what he does. This is what Jack Mitchell does. Floor is 5,
it's
ceiling
the
is 9.
ceiling. I don't. Do people? What is happening? Do people not understand what we're talking about? What's my ceiling for a good year? I could weigh 170 after if I really ate my vegetables and worked out a lot. Is this going to happen? Probably not, but it could if everything goes well.
Jack's weight ceiling. I didn't think that would come up on the
It's
show.
actually weight floor, but you know what I mean. Like
for sure.
I feel like I need to have an example to explain what floors and ceilings are to people.
Huss says, just to be clear, Gramstad is literally QB2, right? We're a sprained ankle away from 4 and 8.
But the ceiling would have him not be injured and Dylan Raiola go to New York. I don't understand what you don't understand about this exercise.
No, to be fair to the subscribers, our lovely, very handsome, and pretty subscribers, I think it was when you were leaning into the 11-win category. That's what people thought.
The 11-win category does not involve a scenario where your best player is injured and you were
he said he was referring to the floor. He says he was referring to the floor.
And I got that one right. I said 4 and 8.
Yeah. Well, he's talking about next year. He's talking about this next year.
I just said next year's floor. Oh, next year's floor. I said 5 or 6. Okay.
Yeah, 5. Yeah.
Okay. You tell me Jalen Gramstad can't beat Houston Christian?
Hell, depending on the time of year when it happens,
Christ
Jack,
can't hit a curveball.
You know what I think that they would just maybe move Heinrich Harburg back in. They might. All right, back to because that wasn't even a chat.
Quit dissing Jalen Gramstad. I'm supposed to get him for our show this summer, and now he's going to hear that
Let's keep this episode paywall. It says Gramstad never hears these comments from our listeners. I'll edit this out of the podcast. Jalen Gramstad, that guy is so good, and I hear he's good looking too. So he's got a lot going for him.
Listen, I think both of those things are
and
true.
he went to a good college before Nebraska.
That's
Jack,
definitely
you can speak
true.
To it, am I right?
That's definitely true. Dude, he's gonna be the quarterback that finally beats Iowa. You know why? Because he gets Iowa. Because he had to live there like I did, and I get Iowa.
Nice.
That's when people like us have to band together.
Husker says, I'm Team Jack today, even though he hates me. Wow, Jack, you hate Huss? I guess Huss does usually want to talk football, and you always want to talk basketball. Classic Jack. Always want to talk hoops.
I just thought he was disagreeing with me on one specific thing here. It doesn't mean I hate him.
Theo says 17% probability of 8-4. Wow, thank you, Theo, for crunching the numbers for us. That's very kind of you. 17%.
Is that official? Is that true?
It's according to the Theo index.
Is that true? Is that
Theo? Okay. I want your index for every single record. I want your index for every single record. Jack, should we get back to the chat sack questions?
Yes, please.
Josh Jabs. We often decry the lack of investment into the athletic program from Nebraska's wealthiest. What do you think that investment would look like in the 80s and 90s? Would the on-the-field success lead to more money for NIL and facilities, or would the fiscally conservative nature of the state still be a barrier? So if I understand this question correct, he is saying if the current apparatus of college football existed in the 80s and 90s, how would Nebraska have operated? How would Nebraska have operated as a football or
would there be more
program?
people with money who would be more willing than they are now to give money? And I think the simple answer is yes. Yeah, because I think there would absolutely be a belief that there is some kind of a sort of an economic, at very least, like an economic growth return for having if you thought maintaining a successful football program was possible because of your giving. So, yeah, I think to some degree, yes. Now, it's odd because when you're talking about the richest of the rich, I mean, we really narrow that down to a small group of people, right? And each of them has their own individual reasons as to why they do it or not. And so I don't know on that level, but I think donations as a whole with success, with extreme success, would absolutely, I think once people get a little taste of it, yeah, I think for sure. Because I think it helps the economy.
Yeah.
It absolutely helps the economy. These people have a lot of money, would like a good local economy, right?
Yeah.
Like,
I am very much a believer, Jack, in that if Nebraska football got good again, that we would never have any conversations about how much they do or don't donate, because people would be opening up the pocketbooks to give money to the program because the program would be good. I don't think that the big programs really have these types of discussions, so I think that everything would have been great. The one kind of curveball with this is that Tom Osborne was the coach, and that dude is, I mean, he didn't make as much as he could or should have because that's how he operated. Like, congrats, but like, I mean, I feel like he would have almost tamped down some of the donations, or he certainly would have been. He wouldn't have been going out there with hat in hand asking for stuff. So I think that could have played a part in Nebraska maybe not bringing in as much money as they could have.
Yeah.
But he was also a cutthroat winner. So, like, maybe I'm an idiot because if that's how things would operate in the 80s, then that's
true.
It's
interesting to see. Because there wasn't the fundraising. What you're saying and is exactly right. It's hard to know because that fundraising apparatus didn't exist then.
Correct. He did everything else it took to win, so I guess why wouldn't he do that one thing too?
It was a different type of fundraiser. Yeah, that's true. I mean, and he also, I'm sure, raised some money for political campaigns as well.
Gordy, Tom would have asked you to donate $1 to us and make sure you donate $1 to your church too. Yeah, one for us, one for God. The new donating model at Nebraska.
He would have, how about one to the casino? No, not that. Definitely not.
Don't do that. No, definitely not.
Warren Buffett is so much richer than anyone else in Nebraska. It's the dumbest.
What's his net worth now? What is it? 100 and something?
I've got this one listed him at $96.4 billion. But I don't know how updated that is.
That is insane. I literally cannot fathom it. Oh my gosh! Never mind, Jack. The Knicks just got called for a charge on a great dunk. Sad. So this is going back to the firing Rhule question. Dave Fight says, predict which NU coach gets fired first. 1, Rhule. 2, Hoiberg. 3, Bolt. Or 4, the field. I'm of the opinion that Dannon is so football focused that he's going to ignore the other sports until the wheels absolutely fall off.
That's a really interesting question. And then I have a fun one to back up with it that's less depressing. But, man.
Lots of Bolt. Everyone's saying Will Bolt. Will Bolt's buyout's way less than the other two.
I still think Hoiberg is dead last. Like, Hoiberg is the least close by
Is
far.
it because of, like, who he is?
Part of it. Part of it. That's part of it.
Yeah.
Having, despite what some people would say, don't think that this is not high enough aspirations, having still a relatively successful season overall this year, or at least could be considered that.
NCAA tournament last year.
That in comparison to Nebraska's history.
Yeah.
And so I would say Bolt. I mean, after last night, geez. But yeah, I would say Bolt, Rhule, Hoiberg, and then I'm thinking about the field. Amy Williams definitely ain't getting fired, right? Unless she would leave. Ron Revelle definitely ain't getting fired. Banning absolutely isn't getting fired. He's done incredible things with wrestling.
Yeah, who is the coach beyond Will Bolt? Let's remove the three.
I just
from
don't
the
know
category.
enough of some of the Olympic sports.
Yeah,
coaches,
I was gonna say, who is the coach that people are most disappointed by?
Like, I don't know how else some of these other programs have even done. Like, I know gymnastics has just had a solid season. I know track generally has been doing really well. Softball's doing really well this year. Wrestling wrestling almost won the freaking national championship. I mean,
yeah. So the answer is
it's
Dave, random golf coach getting fired.
Right. Yeah, I guess I don't know about golf or tennis. I should ask my son. He goes to all the tennis meets because he has to work there.
Yeah.
Do you have? Yeah. I think yes. I think probably Will Bolt is on the.
Will-
Is he on the hottest seat in the entire in the entire university?
Jack, I think, you know how we talk about how boxers pound for pound, those people are like the best boxers of all time or whatever. If you did a per capita fan base annoyance level, because the baseball fan base is way smaller, I think people are way more annoyed by Will Bolt within the baseball fan base than any of the other sports are with their coach.
And if they don't know, just going to our Husker baseball channel during a game. That place, this is what people do to me all the time. Like, this is what I'm made for, to be on this earth, is people to laugh at me a little bit when I'm just over the top negative or whatever about certain things. That's what that baseball channel does for me during games. It is hilarious. But Dealer says next firing probably due to off the field transgressions. Yes, well, that's a lot harder.
Maybe the
That's
field is
harder
the play
predict.
then, Jack. Is the field the proper pick then, because it's something totally unexpected out of nowhere?
Yeah, maybe.
Gino says, does
probably.
the athletic department care enough about baseball to act on it?
I guess I don't know. I can't speak for Dan, and I know Alberts did. But I can't completely speak for Dannon. But I think they probably hear about it a lot. I mean, what you were saying, Josh. Like, I think to some degree there are probably a decent amount of people that are get and have your ear on it a little bit. Compared to any of the other sports we mentioned outside of like men's and women's basketball.
Corny says, I don't think Troy gives a shit about baseball. See, and like, look, I can't speak to the man's heart, right? But if they continue to go down the toilet,
right,
like,
exactly.
What
is that? I don't understand this. I don't understand what it looks like to, be an athletic director and then aggressively not care about a sport so much that you just don't ever fire. You let a coach there for 200 years and they never win a game. Like, I know that's a hyperbole there, but what does that mean in practice? He doesn't care.
Yeah, because he says, I think Troy cares about 1, fixing football, 2, fixing football, 3, maintain volleyball, 4, fixing football.
Yeah, well, that's not
You're
mutually
wrong,
exclusive.
But you know what? Like, I care about a lot of things, and yet I can also pick up a piece of trash that I see on the street.
Yeah, it's just not mute. I just don't think that's mutually exclusive, nor does it cost your chances at doing the rest of those things.
Also, I would add this, like, why do we think that? His job, yes, is football first and foremost, but I don't know why we think, like, I haven't heard anything to the contrary. Now, if
they also say he doesn't care about basketball. So what, he cares about volleyball and football? Is that it?
I guess that's what people's theory is.
Well, and if that's true, like 2/3 of the ADs in the entire nation, football is the most important financial, more than that, the most important financial situation to their university. And so that's their primary concern. I guess I still don't know how to define this doesn't care level about lower level sports, right?
Yeah.
Because Nebraska baseball still appears to be cared for more than anyone else in the Big Ten for the most part. Now, maybe,
Well, and I would say this too.
I know softball is the same way.
Yeah, if your opinion is he doesn't care about baseball, and he has shown that by not firing Will Bolt yet. Like, look, as annoyed as I am with the baseball,
when would he have fired him?
Correct. That last year they got the dog pile in Omaha. This year they sucked. Like, next year, let's have a conversation next year. Like, he just
there was no opportunity. There's been no opportunity except for maybe today. That
exactly this exact moment after they lost last night. We don't usually allow for We don't allow for people to cut in line, but Mike Schaefer literally texted me and asked if it was too late to get a chat sack question in. And he asked this, and this is a fun one because it gets away from Husker football for a moment. In honor of Josh Peterson's big arm at third base, what year and what sport did you achieve athletic peak during your school age 5 to 18 life?
What year and what sport? Man.
What a question. Mike Schaefer, that's why he is a journalist. He asks good questions. Though not tougher questions.
It can be when you're as young as 5?
5 to 18.
Mine would be, well, because like some sports you didn't play in the way we think of them as a kid, but I would say backyard football at about age, I was bigger than everybody for a while.
Hell yeah.
And I like to, be rough with people. So, that's probably about I would say about 6th grade, maybe 5th grade. About then, I would say.
I hate that my answer is running, but it actually is. When I was a sophomore was my best year. I broke 5 minutes in the 1600, and I ran a 10:24 2-mile, and I made varsity, even though I did not start on varsity as a cross country. And like the coach was like, "You're going to be so good for this program," and then I sucked. So I'd say my sophomore year, all the running stuff, good times. If I'm looking elsewhere, like at an actual sport, Jack, my freshman year, I did not play for my freshman team. I played for, or maybe it was my 8th grade year. I played in like a football league, like a little league football league. And I don't know why, but suddenly I liked hitting people, and I was a good linebacker all of a sudden. I can't believe it. It's hard to explain. I know. It was probably because I was in the next level down. I wasn't in like the A group. I was in the B group. But man, I had a good time. I was suddenly tackling people.
Is the question like you're in the highest percentage relative to your age?
Just like when you were the best.
What were you the sport at the best at? Total, like, I was okay. Here's a weird one. I played some racquetball in high school. I was probably, like relative to the field, I suppose. I probably was better. I bet it's racquetball for me.
Interesting.
My dad played a ton of racquetball, so I kind of learned from playing him. And we hung out at Prairie Life all summer a lot, and so I played a lot of racquetball. I bet it's. I was actually, I'll say racquetball. That's probably me.
I did not think racquetball would come up. Riz says sophomore year big ball softball, and she has like a picture of the thing. I've never seen this before. I was the only girl the boys moved back in the infield for because I could fucking launch that thing due to many, many hours spent using a hit away.
That's the hit away she's showing you.
Oh, that's the hit away. Okay, my bad.
Jeez.
My bad. I'm sorry. I don't know. I don't have any kids, Jack.
You don't have to have kids to know what that is. Riz doesn't either.
My bad. My bad.
I don't think she does. So I think same situation
Correct.
for her, and she's the one who posted it.
Let's hear from you. Racquetball. How old is Jack Mitchell? Old. Jack's getting close to 50.
My dad. I know. I'm not far from 50. That's kind of sad. And then the other one, I guess, would be slow pitch softball. I played. Yeah.
Jack, you're gonna love this one from Baymon because it allows you to talk about yourself.
Where's Baymon been? He's a basketball only user. Wow.
I'm going off road. What are your favorite things and least favorite things about being a sports talking head in the limelight? Shafe, you chime in on this one too. I'd be curious what Shafe's answer would be.
I don't even know if I am that.
Okay, don't do the thing where you're like, I'm not on the radio for sports.
Until I get in Severe's bracket, I'm not.
Come on. You do a podcast, Jack. And nobody has a podcast in 2025.
That's true.
It's you and me and like three other people.
Favorite thing and least favorite thing. My least favorite thing is because I am still such a fan of the sports that I talk about is having to do it after when losses? I'm not. Yes, after losses. It's by far my least favorite thing. I don't want to do it. I still don't want to do it. I won't want to do it next time it happens. I will tell you I don't want to do it. I will apologize that I hate that about this. So that's because that's very different than probably the most of the people that you are thinking about. My favorite thing about it is, I don't know. I don't feel like there's the material that we talk about generally, I feel like is among the things I know about in my life. I know most about, right?
Yeah.
Like I feel like I know most about, and I don't necessarily mean the current team and the current recruiting class or anything, but the culture of it, the history of it, the way people relate to it, all of those.
I've said it before. The scariest part about taking a job in a different market would be not having the institutional knowledge that I have around here, which is like it makes the job easy in a way that I can fall back. My mind can go to places that the listeners are going in the same.
And then the other thing is an alternative to talking about, because a lot of my day job is often talking some sports, but when it's about news, sometimes it's super depressing, right? When it's about news, sometimes I don't give a crap about it, and I have to figure out how to talk about it in a way to make myself give a crap. And talking about politics is the other part of it, and it's so toxic and worthless in almost every situation that I hate it. So, How about you? How about you? Did you answer both sides of that?
No. Favorite thing.
And what did Schaefer say? Did he answer?
Yeah, and Schaefer's typing right now. I look forward to what he has to say. Favorite thing, Jack, I'll give you two. I'll start with the main one. The rush of doing a show after an event where I know everybody who cares is going to listen is like the best feeling. You know, like when the coaches get fired, you know, I think some people probably get nervous. I live for those days. I live for the days of like, hey, you got to show up early. Like I remember, Jack, the rush of the day Mike Riley was going to get fired and you knew it was going to happen. And I got to work and I was there 2 hours before the news came down because I was just waiting for it to happen because we didn't have Zoom and StreamYard back then. And then it goes down and immediately it was on the air and I knew that everybody was listening. Risk, Josh Peterson here for unemployment. I love an event or like a big game, right? Like people are listening and I know they're listening. I think those days are sweet. I also love the rush of a Friday before a big game weekend. Sadly, we don't have them anymore. But, dude, there is nothing like that Friday feeling, especially you get that early fall, the pumpkin spice weather, as you called it earlier, and it's like, let's go. This is going to be awesome. Everybody's listening. Everybody's excited. The mood is good. You got a beer in the fridge for later. And even just, like, leaving work that night and just knowing this could be a whole lot of fun this weekend. I hope it's a whole lot of fun this weekend. That's my favorite part. Least favorite part, man, this sounds like such an asshole thing, but there are some times where I'm like at family gatherings and I'm like, I don't want to talk about Nebraska because I have opinions and I'm on the radio. Like, can't we just talk about anything else right now? I hate that I've kind of become that guy, but sometimes I just don't want to do that at like a family. I want to talk about it all the time. All the time.
I agree with you. Among my favorite moments is the when we're narrating the collective anticipation before a big game. There's some level of optimism about that's my favorite, right? Yeah. Saturday morning before the Colorado game, right? You know,
Saturday morning coffee shows with you have become so much fun, like a great part of my game day now that I did not have even 4 years ago, you know?
Yeah, that is the most, I love that time anyway, right? I love that time anyway, and I like being with other people, and we talk about different things then than we do. It's not time to go through and talk about which assistant coach is going to be fired for the most part or anything like that, especially early in the year, you know? Like if Nebraska's 3-0 and Michigan's coming in, right? I mean,
we'll have a blast. We will have an absolute blast.
So, and it's a team, and finally to feel that sort of to feel the unit, because you feel some unity then, right? Among your listeners, which is so rare, right? I never feel like I get to feel that to some degree, and I do like when I do that. So yeah.
That was a good one. All right, let's see. Next one. Oh, here we go. D'Lo, if Rhule retired unexpectedly tomorrow.
Jumanji said, "Man, this makes me so excited for the Tennessee."
What would be a realistic top 5 list for Dannon? Imagine timing was not an issue, so don't settle for an assistant, etc. Rhule retires. Troy Dannon has the pick of the litter, as he would say.
Oh,
What's his
man.
top 5? What's his top 5, Jack?
Oh, man.
This is a really hard question. I have one name that came to my mind immediately when I read this earlier today that I feel is kind of the obvious one.
Actually, I do. It's what's his name from Kansas? That's who it is,
that's right? A good one. I feel like you and I can put together our top 5 together because of that. That's a great pick. Leipold
and Kleiman are probably both on that list.
See, Bruce mentions Matt Campbell. That was the person that came to my mind first.
Maybe Campbell.
Yeah.
I mean, I would want him to call Burt, you know, but I don't know if he'd be on the list. Like, it kind of depends on what his connections would be too, right?
Correct. Yeah. I-Formation mentions John Summerall from Tulane. Like, would there be a little Southern twinge to it because of where he's been in the past?
Right. You know, Tyrone Willingham, formerly of Washington.
Wow. Tyrone Willingham. What if he went after? Hey, here you go.
You never know. He might have.
What about this? What about this? Kalen DeBoer, because he's gotten fired by Alabama.
He didn't hire him, right? He didn't hire DeBoer, did he? Did he hire DeBoer?
No, because remember he got to Washington and left in like 2 weeks or something like that. He left pretty fast after he got there.
So he didn't have like a relationship with DeBoer. Because you just got me a little a teensy bit excited for a potential future scenario where a lot of things happen.
Yeah, corny. Yes, I'll take a fired DeBoer. Yeah, there's a fun question there. Oh, that's right. He hired Jeb Fish. Yeah, good call. He hired Jeb Fish because he got there, DeBoer left, and then he hired Jeb, and then he left Jeb. See you later, Jeb.
But did he have any good like dinners with Caleb DeBoer
You
or
hope
anything?
so.
Or maybe a nice talk over a glass of wine or anything?
Man, you hope so. You hope that they had a nice
Because
dinner.
if so, you never, it's
Yeah.
it's
Tell me there's a
2029.
Show me there's a chance.
Matt Rhule.
Yeah, where's DeBoer? Where's Kalen DeBoer the next coach at? Is a fun question to have.
If he gets fired from Alabama and the Nebraska job is open, and he's not, and he isn't get fired for cause, he's on the absolute top of my list. Also, he's from here.
I think you just admitted you want to fire Rhule and hire Kalen DeBoer.
Well, I mean, we'll see how this year goes.
Let's see if they hit that floor that you talked
I
about.
used to, who I used to feel that way about was
Who?
I used to feel with Chip Kelly when he was with the Eagles. That was my hope was that Kelly was going to get fired by the Eagles and it was going to time out right and Nebraska would go after him.
Chip was my dream. Well, my dream hire for years was Chris Peterson. Sadly, that never happened.
Still possible. Another Washington tie.
I'm scrolling. I don't know if we can answer this one. Caleb Henry, why is John Bishop the way he is? I don't know.
Caleb asked that.
Keena, if all local radio hosts' dogs formed a pack, which dog would be the leader?
If all local, I only know yours and Mike's deceased dog, R.I.P. Slider. Well, I was paying respect. Slider was a great dog, but I'm just saying
Slider was an awesome dog. God, I miss Slider.
He would, if you stop petting Slider, he was not ready for you to be done petting him. I will tell you that. It would, if you decided to pet Slider, he loved it, but we were going to have a longer pet than you might have been, just ready for.
Oh yeah, and he was the kind of dog that like fell back into you. Like I'm just gonna lean into you.
I guess Wrigley and Geo.
No, Geo is dead.
Oh, sorry about that too. Which was the one?
Ravi has like 3 dogs. I feel like Ravi's.
Which of Bishop's dog was the one who licked?
That's Wrigley. Daddy's home. Lick.
Licked my. Remember, there are all those mosquitoes.
Oh.
John and I did the post-game show in his backyard in the game when Andrew Bunches of Touchdowns lost to Troy. And we did it in his backyard, and it was mosquito season.
And what did you spray?
And like Chris brought out some like industrial spray you're supposed to spray the lawn with, right? And I thought it was like off. So I sprayed it on my legs.
Oh,
and he was like, no, it's not for your legs. And it's just, it's definitely not for your skin. And then one of his dogs, I don't know if it was which one, but started licking it off my legs. Anyway, probably
it's so sad that we don't have YouTube videos of old Big Red Overreactions. I would love to go back and rewatch that episode. I remember tuning in because I think you did have video. Were you on like Facebook or something? You guys were broadcasting. Maybe John periscoped it for a few minutes. Remember Periscope? Because I remember watching video of you.
I don't even know if
backyard.
I don't know. There's probably pictures, but I can't imagine that. What year? What was Scott Frost?
2018.
2018. Did internet video exist then? Live internet video?
Well, Periscope did.
Periscope
was definitely.
We could have
around.
Skyped.
Royals girl. Oh shit, Periscope. Hell yeah, Periscope. There was a follow-up from Dave about John. Is the grumpy old man personality a bit or reality? We'll let you be the guessers on that one. Let's see, Jack. Wow. Okay, Stumanji, I'm going to save this one because Stumanji says, when evaluating a coach's tenure, do you give more weight to their successes or failures? That's a really good, maybe deeper question that we don't have time for at this exact moment.
Yeah.
I feel like there was something else in there, but I can't find it. Maybe not.
Could have recorded a Vine.
Oh, I'm gonna have Nick look and see how far back our Big Red Overreaction podcasts go and see if we have access to those, because that would be fun to we back then, Jack, we would upload the episodes and then we would delete them the next week. So all of the old overreactions do not exist on the internet anywhere. But man, I would love to get a chance to re-listen to you two talking about the Troy loss.
Yeah.
Andrew Bunch starting at quarterback.
Oh my gosh. Yes, Andrew Bunch. I don't remember even being that mad about it at the time.
I think it was more perplexing than
I was
anything.
not. And I remember I got a text from. Here's another thing I remember about it. I got a text from someone at the Chamber of Commerce that gave me an inside info tip that Nebraska was going to reschedule the Akron game with Bethune-Cookman.
During the show?
Yeah, during the show. I can't remember if I said it on the air or not. I probably didn't. But
Wow, nice get, Jack. That's some good intel right there.
if I had had the Discord inside info channel, I would have shared that there. So.
D'Lo says, "Why would
there's
you?"
There's got to be a
delete-"
tweet about it or something, isn't it? I don't know. I hate
Probably.
Twitter advanced search.
Yeah.
I would search.
D'Lo says, "Why would we delete?" So back then, Josh, we didn't pay for the Big Red Overreaction feed because we were on SoundCloud. I don't know. It's hard to explain. Basically, we didn't pay to have unlimited data on it, and so we wouldn't be able to just continue to upload it every week. If we did like now, we do overreaction in a different format, in a different way we upload, and so it allows us to keep every single episode, which is really, really sad that we don't have all those old episodes. So that's why it sucks. But we had to do it to create space on SoundCloud because we weren't paying for it at the time.
Was he John Bishop 71?
John Bishop 71.
I hate Twitter search so much. Wait, there's none that I mentioned the word backyard and
Did you do backspace yard?
Backspace yard. What?
Like back yard?
Oh, yeah, but I can't. There's no. I mistyped something. Oh, I misspelled my own name. You're never gonna believe this. I forgot the
Jack.
T.
You?
Yeah, you wouldn't expect that, given I've been writing it out
Lord.
for 47 years.
Yeah. Masturbator, I'm glad Frost was fired, but I will die on the hill that they make a bowl if the Akron game doesn't get canceled. I know Barrett Ruud felt that way. He went on Nick Boss' podcast after he got fired, and he was like, look at that Akron game, though. It's like, damn, bro, you're still thinking about that all these years later? How's the search going, Jack? The podcast has come to a grinding halt because you're typing for 5 minutes.
It's so hard to do a search. I'll quit after I finish typing this one more time and mentioning these accounts from these accounts. That should be right.
Yeah.
Jack, am I spell my name right?
Oh, my gosh. How is this so hard?
All right. I'll look around. I got it, sir. I won't type anymore. We're all good.
Okay. Well, the podcast is over now, Jack. So,
oh crap!
Let's get ready to say goodbye.
Well, that sucks.
Let's get ready to say goodbye.
It didn't even work. It didn't even give me things where that was mentioned.
All right.
Oh,
All right. Now
hold
I'm
on.
going to do this.
But
it
did make me find one of my favorite tweets that I am going to share in the chat. in the chat. You know, I know no politics, but this was one of the best TV screenshots I ever got. That's one of my favorite screenshots of my life.
By the way, Jack, it took me 1/10 the time, but I did find a photo that you tweeted of you and John in his backyard.
You did find that quickly.
Yeah.
Look,
all you got to do is search your name and the word backyard. It was like very simple.
Yeah. Wow. Did he just put like a standing fan like 40 feet from
Okay. God, his old work computer, man, that thing was rough. Absolutely
Look
rough.
at it. Jeez, that looks like it's from 2002.
By the way, there was a this is great. So I found another tweet from you where you wrote, "Here we go, ugh." And you know that actor from Nebraska, Derek Arthur? That guy has followed and unfollowed me no less than 100 times. But he responded, first question, why is there a fan in your backyard? And you go, I don't know. It's not my backyard. Oh, that's some good stuff right there.
Great
Jack.
interaction. Gotta love it.
Yeah, that guy seriously has unfollowed and followed me back 1 billion times. Like, I'm not going to follow you, Derek. I'm just never going to. I'm not interested in your account. No offense.
You know, this is a fun game. For some reason, when I searched this, it just gave me tweets that had nothing to do with what I'm looking for. But we might need to have I'm thinking of a game we could do, a game where we look for people's like worst, most inaccurate tweets live during a show. Wouldn't this be great?
That could be really fun.
Look at that one.
Really fun.
My hat is off to Bill Moose. Dude is not playing around. The attention to detail, the planning, the media savvy, the end result. Well done, new guy. Well done.
I just retweeted it.
No, this is going to be a new show on this. I love
Jack,
it.
hey, this is a great way to get ready for this weekend because we're going to do some special stuff on Saturday Morning Coffee. But you have had an idea. You're trying to come up with a trivia game to do this summer. Maybe this is the way that we build it into some sort of a podcast.
It could be called freezing cold tweets with
nice.
I-80 Club freezing cold tweets.
Did you see Jordan's comment where it was you trying to search for tweets?
Yes, I did. That was a good one.
You
like that one there from not that long ago? Gonna guess John Cook ain't retiring. This is based on me searching the word mosquito, and all it's giving me are these weird. Oh, wait! I got another one. These are all over, man, and they're all takes that have aged poorly. Oh my gosh, this is hilarious. This is you're gonna die when you read some of these.
Oh, good Lord. No matter what happens today, I'm done with the sky is falling thing. The strength of the team is the talent and leadership it has in the young guys. The program desperately needs consistency and a long break from firing culture. I think I finally understand the patience that is needed. What loss was that?
November 2nd, 2019.
My guess is that's going to be post Minnesota. God, I don't even know. November 2nd. They lost to Purdue. That is the game you said that about? That game was horrible. Oh my gosh, D'Lo. Holy shit, did you see what D'Lo just said? Oh no.
What did it do? Wow, no, I'm not saying.
We're not reading that one. This is going to go out of the paywall.
This is hilarious. The amount of terrible.
John Benet Ramsey's parents seem really cool. Jack Mitchell back in the mid-90s. Oh, he's not even listening, Sam. I thought that was a pretty solid joke.
Sorry, I'm excited for this game. Freezing cold tweets, where we search for. Man, I was just look at me, just like slathering it on Moose and Frost.
Yeah, wow.
This is inspired by Mavs guys' edits on our. It'd be a great way to promote our pop-up video, Be Kind Huskery wines.
That is a great reminder. Matt's still out of the country, right? So he's not hanging out with us tonight. But yeah, we do have some more Be Kind Huskery wines coming. We are getting, so a few things before we wind down. We are getting really close to announcing our summer plans. Jack had a really a cool idea on how we wanted to announce the summer plans. And the graphic that I'm putting together is, it's pretty much almost done, right, Jack? We're just going to wait a few more weeks to announce that. So we have that coming up. Also, and Riss says they're good plans. Look at these plans. We're very excited for the plans that we have.
Some of them haven't actually been made, but they were good ideas for sure.
Yes. Speaking of, we have on and off mentioned on this pod over the last month or so, this project that I am working on. I'm trying not to say a whole lot because this episode will be going public on Friday. But if you are a subscriber of the Patreon, I would love to have you join Jack and I on Saturday for the Saturday Morning Coffee Show because you will be involved in how we are putting this plan together for the summer. It's going to be a 10-episode mini-series, scripted podcast with some unscripted elements with Jack and I. We are bringing in outside producers. Jack is still not paying attention because he's just reading old tweets.
I know this. Josh, I know we decided this. I don't need to.
I figured you'd be nodding your head, giving a thumbs up, helping out, saying this is going to be really cool.
It's going to be really cool, but I just found a tweet I did about Mickey Joseph that's pretty funny. Anyway.
Oh, yikes.
It's going to be super fun. It's going to be super funny and sad.
Sad. Yeah.
It's kind of related to what I'm doing in an odd way.
It is. And so, again, not saying a whole lot, but we've dropped hints about it throughout the last month or so. Join us on Saturday morning because the podcast on Saturday is going to be about helping us, kind of really helping me. There's like one nut I need to crack for the end series, and we'll be good to go after that. So yeah, join us for that. What else do we got, Jack? We got Volleyball State, new episode dropping in an hour with Sarah Pavin on the
Sarah Pavin's coming on. Canadian Olympic superstar, Husker superstar.
Nice.
Very tall person.
Very tall. Masturbator, did George R. Martin or Patrick Rothfuss write it? I want to hear the end. They did not. This is all me. This is all my writing, and it's It has been a labor of love over the last couple of months, but it is almost done, and I think it is going to rock.
Josh, okay, I have a challenge and this might need to be on the summer show list. Instead of, because obviously I get too distracted live searching tweets.
Yes.
How about we have a contest where you and I try and find of each other the 10 coldest take tweets
that's good
ever from each other. And then maybe we can do a few honorary one for maybe some of our friends too.
That's very good.
That actually sounds like a very fun show.
Are we live searching on the air? Or we have to
No,
that's
what I was just saying. I obviously can't concentrate. What I just proved is I can't do two things at once. I get too involved. So we will each bring our own army. It's a contest. They vote. Basically, the fans will vote, right? We put together a fantasy team of bad tweets, right? And we get to slot in. I get to slot in 10 of yours. You get to slot in 10 of mine. And then we also can use one by another of several people, right? We can have maybe like each have 2 John Bishop ones. And we put together a fantasy bad tweet is what this is.
Good. This could be really, really fun. Jordan, most of Josh's will be the snow is done. Yeah, that's true. We'd almost would have to push that off to the side.
It would be a absolute blast.
I mean, it's going to be hard to beat you saying Bill Moose is buttoned up.
I mean, listen, you know how much I tweet.
Joseph should be the coach.
I know. I'm not going to. I did a bunch of your homework already. I'm not doing any more. And so we'll just, we'll just delve in. And again, you get to put together a fantasy team. Maybe it's like 10 tweets of each other's and then 10 bonus tweets from other people.
I like
and
it.
Whoever puts together the best team of bad tweets,
they win.
Tweets that age poorly, they win. And then we can play it again sometime with someone else. Where then they bring them in, right? We bring them in, and we get to use their tweets.
Yeah. Royals girls search mosquito. Yeah, we'll find a really good one.
I seriously don't know what the.
Oh no, D'Lo. All right. And with that, it's probably time we say goodbye. All right. Coming up tonight, Volleyball State, 9 o'clock. That episode will drop in your podcast feed as well on YouTube. Do go, if you could. Go hook us up with a like and a subscribe on our YouTube page. Jack, last I checked, we are 40 subscribers away from 1,000. We would love to hit 1,000. We would love you to help us hit 1,000.
Find 39 people tonight.
Saturday, you're helping us put together the summer project that I've been working on for the last few months. Speaking of the summer, we're going to be making some changes to the way that we do things in a few weeks after Memorial Day. And we are kicking off our summer podcast content with an idea I've had for years, and we're finally doing it. And that's going to be 3 weeks from today on the 28th with a couple of guests. There will be 2 guests on the pod that night, and we're going to have a great time. All right. He's Jack. I'm Josh. Like and subscribe. We'll talk to you later. And if you're listening for free, we'd love to have you. Patreon.com/I-80 Club. Bye-bye.
Bye.